Welcome in, Last War family. Welcome to WWC. It's QB18 here. We're going to go through spending on day 4 and take a look at where we are. So, per usual, I already went ahead and bought the daily sale, which I do every day. Great deal, as I talked about. Should be a no-brainer for you mid-spenders, high spenders. It should be just a default to be getting that every day. Low spenders, it's really up to you. They're great for exclusive weapons. I actually would think it depends on where you are in the game, if that's where you want to put your budget for the month. If you're budgeting yourself low spenders to $25 to $50 in the month, I would think about it from, I'm just starting this game and I need to get the 5, and I'm trying to get all my stars for my heroes, then sure, that might be worth it to put your money in for it from a low spender perspective. It's a perfect time to talk about that if you're looking for your budget and your $25 to $50, because that brings us into our event, which is the Bullseye loot, right? So free to play, you're saving your bullseyes. That's all you can do. You don't want to spend them early. The last thing you want to do is get caught at like 99 and then have 100 for red prints. So you're basically on the saving trek, and you just want to keep saving them until you get to about 700, 720. And that's going to be, I think it's 18 a day, right? And so this event runs for six days, I believe. So you're probably getting around 110 around that for it every month. So it's going to take you around 7 months to save up, and then you're going to be able to get the red prints. But that is your best bet for the Bullseye. Don't do earlier than that. Make sure when you do it, you just splurge. So just get your bullets every day and don't worry about it. That's your free to play event. Low spenders. This is where you might, especially early in the game, right? When you're trying to get blueprints and you're trying to get ore, and one thing that we want to make sure we talk about here, when we're selecting what to pick for our selection, we always choose the ore as the item that we want here, okay? Always pick the ore. That's it. That's their default. Nothing else. Nothing else acceptable, just the ore. So pick the ore because that's going to give you enough to use for your blueprints, and you go in. When you're opening up these boxes, that allows you to get the ceramics or the ore or the blueprints. Always pick the blueprints. Never pick anything else. I don't care that it's 3,000 ore. You can accumulate the ore over time. You're not going to accumulate those blueprints. They're more important. So get the blueprints. Okay, so get that out of the way as a default. Low spenders strategy. If you had a $25 budget, especially early in the game, it isn't crazy to just say, I'm going to only use it for this event every month and nothing else. I'm not going to purchase everything else. My budget only goes into the Bullseye event. It's really, that's not crazy, because you're getting for the $5, you're getting 10, or if you just said, hey, one time, I think it's 24. So either way, if you're doing the 5, you're going to get 50 bullets. So like you're better off just doing it 5 times and getting your 50 bullets right here. It's your best deal, right? So get the 50 bullets. Then on top of that, you're getting the 18 that we talked about, like the 110 or however it works out. If you're doing that, that means you're getting like 160 every month. So you are going to be down to probably like 5 months getting the blueprints. And if you're spending it that way, you can probably get 2 mythics through this event. Plus you have the season events, which are probably maybe like, if we get to 3 a year, 4 a year, with the season events, that gives you a pathway to 4 mythics right there as a low spender, very easily. So I would think about that. It's really important to get your gear for your battles, especially early on. You have to build that first squad gear up. You will win battles on that alone to do it. So do that. Other things you can get, like exclusive weapons, people say, oh, you know, those are important, they're hard to get. You can get those, okay? Throughout the game, there's many different ways now that the game is giving you to get exclusive weapons, to get the ceramics that you need, get all those things. What it's not giving you is blueprints outside of the Honor Store where you get 50 of them. It's hard to get. So that's what I would say. Mid spenders, you should be really, like, you should be getting really a lot of this. Like, if you're spending, if you're a mid spender, and you're in that, you know, I don't know, like 50 to 250 range that we talked about, this should, especially early on, this should be a no-brainer. You should be spending whatever your budget is here and get to the mythics as fast as possible. Don't worry about the glittering event. Don't worry about whatever. That would be my advice. Early on in the game, try to get those blueprints. It's going to separate you from everybody else you're fighting to build up your gear, because they can't get the blueprints. They're not spending. They're not doing it. All these people that we talked about, the free-to-play, the low spenders that we just spoke about, you mid-spenders, you're spending. Get the blueprints. It's going to separate it early in the game. Later in the game, really, you should already be here. You should already have a full team. Yeah, you might be still working on filling out your mythics, but you can start playing around a little bit more in the other events that we have. The glittering events, maybe the decorate your dreams, different things like that to spatter around the money, as we'll talk about. Okay. High spenders, you know, you just buy out the event. So, okay, that is basically all we have, I believe, for this. So now, last thing we talk about for this week is exclusive weapons. So if we're going to get into exclusive weapons, we're going to say that low spenders, you're going to spend, free to play. We don't have to worry about low spenders. If you're going to spend, it would just be on the $5 box. Depends on how you want to spare out your money. Me personally, it would be in that Bullseye event. You wouldn't have anything left to be able to buy here. For shards, for exclusive weapons, it's okay. It's worth it for the $5. It gets, again, as similar to the drone parts that we talked about as we get into talking to mid spenders. The $5 is a good deal, okay? The $10 is a good deal, all right? And the $20 is a good deal, okay? And now you're getting, like everything else, you're going to get to the $50, and you're going to start getting to a little bit pricey. It's pricier now as we move forward to get to $80 for $50. And after this, it's $160 for $100. So if you're doing the 5-10, I would really look at it from, depending on where you are from a mid-spender perspective. If you're higher in that mid-spender tier and you're more like to 200, you can even this out on Hero Day, and where you are in the game is big as well. So early on, yes, get your 5 stars for all your heroes. You have the advantage to everybody else. Get all those. You can spend up to $20. That's important. The gear to put on is important. Prioritize those two things when you are first starting to play this game. You're going to fill in your stars. You're going to then work on your gear. Okay? Once you're there, then you can start, again, just like I gave the low spenders the option. You can start playing around with the glittering events and things like that. Exclusive weapons aren't as important, just like the gold shards are easy to find. These exclusive weapons you can accumulate for free. You're a mid-spender, though. You can start targeting bigger things like levels, like level 30 for your first team, instead of just like other people who are low spenders who are gathering and hoping for level 15s and level 20s. Level 30 becomes a pipe dream when you're free to play and you're, whatever. That becomes so far out to try to get all of those exclusive hero shards. It doesn't make it worth it, because you need 1,000 just to get from 25 to 30. So when you're free to play and you're getting only a couple at a clip, 1,000 is a lot. So you start, instead of worrying about level 21 or 26 on somebody, you're ending up moving over to another hero and you're building them instead. So I would say for mid-spender, you can start looking for those higher, you can start chipping away here, gathering 60, 70 apiece and building a little bit faster to try to get to those level 30s that other people can't get, which is your advantage. There is a big advantage as we get into the levels of exclusive weapons of going from that level 20 to 30 range. There does become quite a bit of an advantage. So you're going to definitely want to look at that to balance out your budget. Up to this point is a good spot for you. High spenders, again, this will be a target for you if depends on where you are in the month with your spending and how you want to balance it out. Okay, so let's say you're not doing the glittering event, you're not doing things right, because even with high spenders that we capped out at $2K a month, right? We said anywhere from $250 to $2K within your range. If you're doing that, you can't just buy everything, right? So I would say this is a good spot for you to stick as well. Like if you're doing the Bullseye event, you could be blowing your whole budget trying to win that out. I wouldn't say that's a bad thing in the month if you're trying to fill out your gear and getting all reds. That's not a bad thing. And then worrying about your hero shards and exclusives later. You gotta worry about something later. So if you're not a whale, you're not buying everything all at once. So if you're prioritizing, it's a good thing to prioritize your gear and those mythics before you're going to prioritize those exclusives. All right. So that would be where I would put you even on kind of a limit for Hero Day. All right. So that is spending guide for day 4 of Versus. So everybody have a good rest of your night.